there folks, I'm Alex and I'm here today to show you how to play You've Got a Friend in Me, the Randy Newman song from Toy Story, one of my favourite songs of all time, a song I love playing to my sons, a song that pretty much makes me cry every time I hear it, and one that I think really showcases the best of what to expect from low G ukulele. So that's the first important thing to note today. We're going to be playing low G. If you're not playing low G, then how it sounds will be a little bit different. It's still perfectly serviceable, but in my opinion this song really sings when you can hit those roving bass notes. So in this video I'm going to cover the version I've just played. There will be a beginner's version as well uploaded shortly after this intermediate, I would say intermediate to advanced level lesson. So the first thing you need to know is we're tuned low G, G, C, E, A, so grab your tuner and tune up, and the first thing we need to look at is that intro. So let me play it again for you. Okay, so let's just take a look at that first chord, the chord that this whole progression is based around. You have the bar chord version of C, which anyone that knows how to play a B flat, which is that tricky chord that I think separates a beginner from an intermediate player. If you can move up to that 3rd/5th fret, the G string will be fretted on the 5th, the C string on the 4th, and then the best way to play it in my opinion is to use 2 fingers to fret the 3rd string on the E and the A string. And you need to be able to play it that way, so you can do this little hammer on here, which I'm trying to demonstrate for you on the camera there. There's the little hammer on the A string. This is worth you knowing as well because it can really it's kind of adding a bit of salt and pepper to your playing. So the way we're going to perform this is, okay, with me so far? So we're going to go G, C, E, A and hammer on to the 5th fret from the 3rd. So that's your first bar there. You've got 5, 4, 3, 3, hammer on to the 5th. So, and then the only 2 strings you really need to know about on the next chord are 4th fret on the G string and 6th fret on the A string. A weird chord, I know. Okay. So that pattern again is just 4th fret on the G string, 6th fret on the A string. And that's a transition chord that's going to lead you to this next chord. You just slide your A string up to the 7th fret. I do it with my little finger. Yeah? And the next thing we're going to do is bar the entire 3rd fret. So you need to have that strong thumb shape and good positioning there to be able to bar everything there. That's something that I highly recommend you practice. And when you practice it, try doing this. Okay. Try your hammer-ons there, because a lot of songs that we're going to cover on this channel later on will have a kind of flavour about them where you go, you're doing a lot of that kind of thing. So we're barring that entire 3rd fret, which is kind of an F chord there. So C. So we're going to just play the G string and the A string together, and then we're going to move on to the E string of the 5th fret. So it all sounds very dissonant out of context, but if you... I'm going to play this slower at the end. So we've got to that bar chord there. Okay. This is the hardest stretch in my opinion. There will be easier ways to play this, I'm sure, but you need to play your A minor chord with your 1st finger. So your A minor chord with your little finger stretched all the way to the 6th fret. So quite a hard stretch to pull off there. So we're moving that 6th fret down to the 5th next. Slightly easier chord now. You've got the 1st fret on the G string and the C. So if you imagine a C chord with that 1st fret added on that low G. And you're going to stay on that note for a little while. So I'll show you what I mean. We're going to go back to the beginning. So we've got this, you might have noticed by now there's a walking bass line. You have stay on this one for 2. Okay, so we've got this. Okay, this is the easy bit. So 1st fret on the E string, and then up to the 3rd fret on the E string. And then we play the open C chord. So we've got the, once again, you've got this bar C, and then you've got this slightly awkward 4th fret and 6th fret combo. And then you've got the bar 3rd fret on the G, 3rd fret on the A, with that hammer on note to the 5th fret. Next chord is the A minor with the 6th fret on the A string. And then that last bit again, just in case I didn't explain it very well, is on the E string you go 3rd fret, 1st fret, 3rd fret, and then C. And if you've just watched all of that and you thought, you know what, I'm never going to be able to master that, then the easy version that we're going to run in a separate video is this. So that bit's going to be much simpler. So tune back in for the simple explanation. Okay, so for now that's the riff. Let's try it one more time together extremely slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks tough, and you know what, it does take quite a bit of time to master this one if you're unfamiliar with these kind of chords, but this is the thing that will build your playing up and your understanding of chord patterns, and before you know it you'll be fiddling around with different chord formations, coming up with your own kind of cheeky little progressions there, which is exactly what I did when I came up with this arrangement. It's just my interpretation, this arrangement, but it's the easiest way I found to play it. So moving on to the verses now, what I like to do is just pick these 2 middle strings for the first bit. So you've got, so you're playing the open C and E, and then you're going on to the 3rd fret of the E string, and then back off, and then you play the open A string. I play it sometimes with the C, often that's by mistake, but it's the root note of the chord, so it works. Okay, and then back to the 3rd of the E string, and then open. So you've got it. That wasn't so hard, was it? Okay, and then a very quick C7 for your transition to F. So you strum the chord open, and then you do your little finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, and then take it off and on, take it on and off again twice. So so off, on, off, on, off, C. So let's run that first two chord phrase together. just, you're getting there. I can hear you're getting there. Maybe just rewind the video, let's run that a few times. But moving on to the next bit. Next bit, you go to the F. So this bit's a little bit trickier. So you've still got this F chord, but you're going to go. So you're going to play the chord, but when you get to that A string, you're going to play the open A, and then back up to the E string, and then you play that 3rd fret on the E string. And then you go back to the open C. Okay? And then my favourite chord next to play, it's like a C chord, but you move the fret, the 3rd fret up to the E string. So you, sorry. Then the next chord is that E7. And then we're going to play an A minor / C, which is one of my favourite chords. Really dramatic ukulele chord there. So it's with the E7. So the A minor with the, so you've got the 2nd fret on the G string, and then you have the 3rd fret on the A string. Up ahead when you're F. And then you can kind of really play around with it here. I mean, I just follow my heart when I play it. And put more of an emphasis on the lower notes, because that's where you're going to be singing register-wise. So let's try that again. So from the first bit. You got that E7, but if you play just the G and the C, you're covering the vocal notes. A minor. Oh, such a good chord progression. F to C, E7, A minor / C, when you're F to C to E7, A minor. Let me do it again. And the last run through, you go to F, you've got a, and then I play G7, one of my favourite chords as well for the ukulele. Play lots of different variations of this. My favourite two will be the classic open G, 2nd fret on the C, 1st fret on the E, 2nd fret on the A. But you could also do it with your 2 open strings. So you've got the G open, 2nd fret on the C, 1st fret on the E, and then the open A string. So we go. If you want to play it that way, that's how I choose to play it. So that bit, it's a lot to unpack there, but you've got this basic riff, but then the verse will be sorry. So anyway folks, I really hope you've enjoyed the video. I really hope you've learned how to play the song. If you have any questions, please hit me up in the comments section, but remember to like the video and subscribe for more of this kind of content. As time goes on, I'm going to learn. This is a learning process for me. I'm not a natural teacher, but I really want to pass on some of these songs that I love to play to you all. Look, stay safe out there, and I'll speak to you very, very soon.